Red Rider Garage. And I'm Red Rider. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. I have been like pretty much MIA for a few weeks. Moving, packing, moving, more packing, more moving, unpacking, more moving. I just did my last load here on the 2nd of March, so I've been kind of unpacking since. And as you can see, my garage is an absolute disaster. Hello, John. Yeah, it's quite the mess right now. Hello, Keith. My toolbox just sitting there in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, we kind of threw everything in here. Hello, William, sorry. And yeah, I have not done anything in here yet. I've been unpacking my house so that I don't go crazy. And I've been trying to find a job because I'm going to need a little bit of a job to pay the rent here, since my rent is like $500 more a month than it was in the old place. Hello, Lloyd. Hey, Billiard Bago. I moved to Kamloops. And yeah, it's actually really nice. It's dark out now, so unfortunately, let me see if I can show you guys a bit of the view. Oh my gosh, keep getting caught on stuff. I have heat in my garage, but apparently it takes a while to actually get warm, so I'm kind of bundled up right now. You can hear the train, and you can kind of see, oh, I don't want to trip, my view a little bit. This phone camera actually picks up the lighting really well. I don't know what that is. The North, that's not the North Star, that's some kind of planet. Yeah, apparently a bunch of the planets are in alignment this time of year. So anyways, that's a different subject. But apparently you can see like 7 of the planets all in alignment this time of year. Anyways, this is kind of my view. I don't know, it's dark out now, so, but it is a nice view. It's really peaceful here when the train's not going by. I've got like sheep and goats across the way. It's like a little farming kind of area, a little farm type community. Let's go back to the garage where it is maybe a little bit warmer. Anyway, hey. Hey, El Pistafo, and anybody else who's popped in and I haven't seen. Why the move? Hello, Joseph Lango. Hey, everybody. So the move is because of a few things. Well, one, this shop is bigger and it's heated, and it's just a better garage. We have family here. So my dad's got like most of his grandkids here, which is a big thing because it's nice to live closer to your family. And yeah, that was kind of the 2 biggest reasons. And just to get out of Kelowna, I just kind of felt like Kelowna wasn't really the place for me anymore. And well, Dad wants to be closer to all of the rest of his kids and his grandkids and stuff like that. Anyways, yeah, my shop's a big mess. Okay, see you later, Tobin. Yeah, yeah, I haven't gotten, hi, Warren. I love it. I'm on the right, yes, I'm always on the right side of the tracks. Any side of the tracks that I am on is going to be the right side of the tracks. So, yeah, I really like it out here. Like, it's so peaceful. I've only been out here for, well, a few nights now myself, but my house is still, in shambles. I've got most of it like unpacked. My garage is definitely in shambles. Like, it's just a total disaster. Like, just goat trails. Like, seriously, just goat trails around everywhere. And this is like anxiety inducing. My chocolate milk, of course, because, well, what is, shop life without chocolate milk? Anyway, I'll let you guys look around at my mess, and you'll be able to see that it is not going to be very soon that'll be set up. I have a lot of work to do. And guys, let me know how this stream is, because I could only get one internet provider out here, and I could only get like their most low speed internet. So this is my first time actually trying to do a live stream, or this is my first time actually putting the internet to the test out here. Anyways, that's Charlie's bike. So some of you guys know my friend Charlie, who with the old 45 flatheads, he came and helped me move. I've talked about that a little bit. And thank God for him, because I don't even know what I would have done without him coming to help me, because the people who were helping me the next weekend, if they would have been helping me move my garage, half of them would have been dead by the time we were done, and we would have never moved in time. So yeah, thank God for Charlie. And he offered to do it. He wasn't even expecting anything in return, but he's been trying to get his bike on the road for a while, and he's not used to working on these newer Harleys. He's done some work on his 45s, and his bike over there, that bike needs a transmission. So yeah, I offered as a trade-off for his help to put the transmission in his bike. Yeah, winter's almost over, Mike. Man, I should have my bike on the road by now. And thank you. It is a bit further north, but it is beautiful here during the day. If I get out here during the day, I'll show you guys some of the view. Yeah, nice view. I hope new place for you. Yeah, the new shop is going to be great. Yeah, clear and bright stream. Okay, good. Hello, G23, 23, G23, yeah. Hey, yeah, it is. I love your red hooded sweatshirt too. It's actually one of my favorite ones now. I got my dad to put a zipper in it. Charlie is a cool dude. And yes, thank God for Charlie and his willingness. And he just worked so hard the whole time, didn't complain, hardly took a break, just busted his butt. And me and him and I literally moved everything in here ourselves. There's a couple things. We got help with this to move it out of the truck. We loaded the trailer by ourselves, him and I. And it was hard work, man. It was really hard work, but it's done, thank God. Hello, Earl. So I've got you guys on the screen here because I have a hard time keeping up with the chat on my phone. So I thought I might be able to keep up with it on the screen here too, but then I realized that might just make it a little more tricky. Everything might just be tricky, and it's super weird watching myself in real time over there while I'm talking to you in this time over there. And I need a bigger shop already. So there's no shelves in here or anything. This place was, the guy who bought this place just ended up hiring painters and stuff like that. He just had it totally, the walls and everything totally stripped. So I guess there were a bunch of shelves in here originally, but they tore them all out. They repainted everything. And red hooded sweatshirt. Oh, okay. I was wondering if you were the guy who sent me this hoodie, but that's Brian. I wasn't sure if he changed his username or not. Yeah, someone sent me this sweatshirt, so I really like it. Anyway, we need shelves, so I'm gonna have to put shelves up, but what I want to do, I'll show you guys. So the walls in here are all completely bare because they just stripped everything off. So what I want to do, I had shelves. You guys remember my old place? So that wall was all cabinets, and then I had this white shelf, which was just standing. So I'm going to put the white shelf up. That shelf's been being moved around to my dad's shop probably for as long as I've been being moved around with my dad. And anyways, I'm going to put that back up. Then my shelving, I don't want to have, hi Brian, I don't want to have shelving taking up floor space. And since most of the stuff that sits on the shelves is parts, well, a lot of stuff that I don't really use a whole lot of, I want to have high up shelves for a lot of the stuff that I don't really use too often, that I don't need to get at all the time. And then I want to have a couple shelves on the floor. So I don't want to take up too much floor space though. I've got these windows, which is nice because the other shop didn't have any windows, so no ventilation. I've got heat. I've got baseboard heat, and right now it's still cold in here because I just turned it on. I just had to figure out how to turn it on, and it feels like it's still on. Anyways, yeah. So I got windows. So I want to kind of set up my welder, grinders, stuff like that in front of the windows, so that when we're doing that kind of stuff, if we have to have the shop closed up for whatever reason, we can still use the windows as ventilation. Just set up some kind of like a hood fan type deal just to suck everything out. Yeah. And YouTube, why does YouTube suck? It's kind of a joke now, Vinny, but maybe it's just like my own personal joke. But last time I was trying to do a stream, it kept crashing, so it took me like 3 times to get the stream not to crash last time. I think you were in the last stream, and by the time I finally got it to work, I titled it YouTube Sucks, and now everybody thinks I'm quitting YouTube, which I do not plan to quit YouTube anytime soon. I don't plan to do YouTube for the rest of my life, but I don't have any plans to quit it either in the near future. So yeah, I called my last stream YouTube Sucks because YouTube was just being super crappy at the time, and this time it was just kind of funny. YouTube still sucks, but you guys are great. So yeah, guys, anyways, that's my new shop, and this is kind of why, well, this is totally why I'm not making videos right now, because I've got a lot of work to do out here before I'm set. Okay, what was the last thing I said before I pressed mute by accident? What was the last thing I said? Hi, Kobar. Am I still on mute? I unmuted it. What the heck? It's not muted. Can anybody hear me? Sound is back. Okay. Working on the shop. No videos. Yes. Okay, so last thing I was saying was that's why I have no videos, because my shop's a disaster. And then I was going to show you guys my friend Charlie's bike. So what I was saying was that the next bike that would have been getting worked on would have probably been my Shovelhead. I just got my dyno off the lift for, oh right, those stabilizers we put in the dyno. So that was the last thing I was doing, was the stabilizers on the dyno, which I'll show you guys. Anybody who hasn't seen that video, you can go back and watch the video where I made my own stabilizer kit for my dyno. I have to delete my old P.O. box address, so guys, don't send anything to that. So anyways, yeah, I made these stabilizer kits. It doesn't look like much, but that's actually welded to the frame there. There's one on the back that's a little more involved. So that was the last thing I was doing in the shop, was making these stabilizers for my dyno. Don't really think there's much more I need to do to that. I think that I could do an oil change and you know, maybe check a few other things, maybe clean my air filter. But I didn't do a whole ton of riding on it last year. Like, what did I put on it? I think I had like just over 9,000 when I put it on the road last year. So I haven't done a whole ton of riding on it. 2,000, 3,000 kilometers maybe about, which isn't a lot. Anyway, so I don't think I need to do an oil. I could probably do an oil change actually, because did an oil change. Yeah. Anyways, that doesn't really need a whole ton of work. I'll probably be putting that on the road as soon as possible. Well, I will be, not probably. It's beautiful out already. So the next bike that was going to go on the lift would have been my Shovelhead, which needs the tire pumped up right now. Because that needs work done to it. I really want to get that thing ready so that I can actually take it on road trips and stuff. And then I was kind of working on one of these Yamahas. And hello, Carlos. So I was kind of working on one of the Yamahas there, and then I had to stop because I was like, I really need a manual. And I got a manual finally for it. So I have room for 3 lifts now. So my Shovelhead will go on a lift. Well, will it? It might. Anyways, the next priority bike though now is Charlie's, because Charlie helped me move, and his bike is basically like, he's basically like a paying customer at this point, even though he was a friend helping me out. But I'm returning the favor by helping him out with his bike, and I don't want to make him wait for it. So I got to take the coil off and swap that out with a new coil that he's got for it. So that was just a loaner coil that he borrowed from someone he's got to return to them. I'm going to take his primary off, and we're going to he's got a turbine top transmission in there right now. So we're going to see about popping this ratchet top in there. That's his. I'm going to have to open that up and have a little look through it, because he got that from an old man who hasn't had it in a bike for a while. And it was working apparently when it was in a bike, but we're still going to open it up, check it out before we pop it on the bike. Like, it's out, we might as well do that. Yeah, so we're going to open that up, check that out. Redo the gaskets and all that for it. And I did see your PDF, Mike, but the PDF was not, didn't get into some of the stuff that I needed, like engine work, as far as I remember looking at it. Anyways, it wasn't the right year. Anyway, now, so yeah, so we're gonna do the transmission. It's basically all that this thing needs is the transmission on. I'll probably go over the whole bike and just make sure there's nothing like that needs to be addressed like right away or anything like that. I might fix things like that for him. The freaking 10 zip ties he's got there, doing what? I don't know what they're doing, holding his choke in place or something like that. I don't know. I'll do what I need to do to that. But that's the next job. I'll have to see about hooking up that 1-to-1 ratio speedo drive for him. I don't think he definitely doesn't have a 1-to-1 ratio speedo in there. His speedo looks like it's broken. But anyways, that's going to be the next thing. And my Shovelhead needs a bunch of stuff too. I really want to get that set up so I can actually do like road trips on it. So I'm going to have to figure out a way of making some kind of a removable luggage rack and some kind of a removable like fuel, like something for extra fuel. So yeah, anyways, this is the next priority bike. But before any bikes get worked on, I need to clean up this huge disaster that is in here. So it's going to be a lot of work, and I don't really have a lot of help to do it. It's too bad there's not a Charlie in this town who wants to come and neglect his own schedule to help me set up my shop. But yeah, this thing's pretty much done. I'm not sure if that needs much more. I think that we've pretty much finished that. This bike is going to my brother who lives in town here. We're probably going to have to set up the shocks a little differently because my brother is a lot heavier than I am, and he kind of bottoms this fender out. Hey, James, I'm good. We'll probably change the doorknob, change that, because I want to put something on there that actually suits the bike a little better. I just don't feel like that doorknob suits the bike. I want to put something like a clear kind of amber kind of, hey, hippie Trav. Yeah, clear kind of amber kind of knob on there. So, but that thing's finished. As finished as it's going to get here, I think, for the most part. We are going to do something else here, too, because we were going to mount this. So we were going to hide that whole setup. Hey, Sickhead, what? Sickhead Customs, it's okay. I am late. I am the one who is late. Yeah, so we're going to move that, and we're going to hide that somewhere so it won't be on the bars. That was the plan. But my brother, who's getting the bike, he lives here, so he's going to have to come and help with some of that stuff now. Yeah, so Shovelhead is just I feel so sad for the bike. It doesn't even have oil in it right now because I didn't want all the oil leaking down into the crankcase. So I removed the oil, and these old Shovelheads, those old pumps, the check ball always unseats after being parked for a while. And then you have to drain your crankcase. And last time that happened to me, I dumb angel, I drained it and I put the plug back in way too tight. It's like a tapered thread in these S&S cases, and I put it in too tight and I couldn't get it out, and I stripped it. I didn't strip the threads, thank God, but I did strip the head of the plug where the Allen key went in, and I couldn't get it out, so we had to weld a nut to it. And then I got it out. But before I did that, my crankcase was full of oil, and I went to kick my bike over like a fool, and I ended up blowing a couple seals in behind the stator. I ended up blowing a seal in behind the stator, so I've got a pretty bad leak down there, which doesn't have any oil in it right now, so it's not leaking down there right now. But that's one of the things that this has to come. Hey, Jor. Yeah, so that's one of the things that has to come apart is I gotta get that seal replaced down in there. It just makes me upset that I did that, and whatever, it's a learning lesson, I guess, not to be stupid. My belt, as you can see, my belt is not tracking how it should on these pulleys. So my belt is kind of like, look, you can see my belt is wandering way over to the engine side. And I don't even know, it doesn't even really look like it's tracking straight. And the reason for that is me again, dumb angel doing dumb work. So I was adjusting my chain. This is what I did, and this is why my belt isn't tracking properly right now. I was adjusting my chain, and I've got an adjustable transmission plate, so you're not going to be able to see it, but I do have on my tranny plate down there, you can kind of see in front of that bolt, towards this way a little bit, but in front of that bolt on my tranny plate, there's threaded Allen head screws in the back of my tranny plate. So there's one on either side, and I can turn those in or out, and they'll pull. My tranny plate is actually attached to just like a couple sliding sections, and that'll pull my transmission back or push it forward depending on which way I turn those Allen heads. So I was doing that, and to do that, I got to loosen off this backing plate that my dad made for my open primary. Then you got to loosen off these screws. There's 3 of them. Anyway, there's actually 4 of them. But me, foolishly, this one here is hard to see.
and I was in a hurry or something. Like, it's a really bad idea to be in a hurry when you're working on machines that you can break stuff on that's expensive or that can kill you if you don't put them together properly. Anyways, I was trying to pull my tranny back, and the one Allen had bolt screw there was super tight, and I was like, man, this is way tighter than it should be. And then I came back over here to double check on these, and I noticed the one of the screws I didn't loosen off, and I should have turned the Allen key back in before I did this, but I didn't. And I undid that, and the whole thing like kind of snapped back a little bit. So my transmission, I don't think, is actually sitting in there straight now anymore because of that. So I got to take that apart. I had to take it apart anyway to do that seal, but I got to make sure that everything is all set up properly. I got to make sure I didn't actually wreck anything. Yeah, because that would really suck, because none of that stuff's cheap or easy. I don't think anything was pulled hard enough to bend anything like that. But yeah. Anyways, that's one of the reasons this has to come apart. And then I just got to go over the whole thing, because I've just been riding it for the last, like, however long it's been on the road, 6 years or whatever. And I haven't really taken it apart to go over a lot of this stuff. Like, I know these Springer front ends. Well, my dad rode with a Springer forever, but I know there's stuff on these you're supposed to check. You're supposed to, like, I make sure it's greased, so, like, I do maintain it. I make sure it's greased and stuff. There's stuff on that stuff you're supposed to check, but yeah. And then I want to figure out a way of doing removable luggage rack. So now that I've got a lathe, I could come up with maybe my own docking hardware, and maybe go off of these fender strut mounts here and just get some kind of, like, so I don't want it to be ugly, but I do want to make some kind of just a removable rack that can just mount here, and just kind of have, like, if anyone knows, like, the new Deckers and stuff, and they have the docking hardware, that same kind of idea for mounting, since I can't go off my fender or anything like that. So I want to do something like that so that I can actually put luggage on here, because traveling with a backpack on this bike is just, like, it just is so uncomfortable after, like, a couple hours. And then also with that, maybe be able to put, like, a fuel can on top of there if I did something like that. Or it would be cool. Like, I think a fuel can would be kind of cool up here. Like, it would look kind of cool. Maybe not up there, but down here or whatever. I think a spare fuel can would look kind of cool. Or my dad and I were going to turn one of these into a fuel can. And yeah. And that's just a reminder for all of us jerks out there. Anyways, no, not a sissy bar, because my bike's not really set up. Hi, Pete and Steph. I still love you guys too. I'm sorry that I've been so, like, MIA from everybody, but I've been so busy. Yeah, so luggage rack for that. I'll show you guys what I want to use for a fuel bottle on there if I don't turn one of those. Like, one of these would be super handy for a fuel can, but it would be nice to have something here that I could put a petcock on and have, like, a line and have, like, a way, like, if I had, like, some kind of a brass fitting with a T on it and a valve, so that I could actually have, like, a two-way valve type thingy or whatever, so that I could turn off my fuel here, like, from the tank, and then turn on my backup fuel when I was running low. Like, if I could do something like that, like, I would have to, like, see what I can do or whatever, right? And ask my dad for some ideas and stuff like that. But that's kind of like what I'm thinking. If I could put something up here, then it's high enough that it would still feed properly into the carburetor. If I start to run out of fuel there, I just can turn on, if I could just turn on a valve that was set up to like a, you know, like I said, a T-fitting type thing or whatever, then that would be perfect. And then have this all be removable so it doesn't have to be on there all the time cluttering up the bike. That would be like super ideal. Oh my gosh, I could do like road trips on this thing and it would be so awesome. Like, yeah, that'd be great because like I like my Dyna and my Dyna is super fun to ride around on and it's cool for like going to campsites and stuff like that. But when I'm going somewhere like Shovelfest and whatever, it's like I don't want to be trailering my Shovelhead everywhere I go just because it's not set up for the road. And I also don't want to be riding my Dyna to places where my cool bike should go. So that's kind of what I want to, like why I want to set my Shovelhead up the way it is. And what I want to put on my Shovelhead for a fuel can, for a spare fuel, it's back in here. Oh my gosh, like everything is such a mess right now. I really got to get this place set up. So I do have this. That's a, oh, everything is falling over. What a mess. Oh my gosh. I really thought everything would get put away in here in a semi-orderly manner when we were unloading the truck, but things did not go as planned. So everything is a huge mess, and I really need some shelves. Like, the old place, I was able to just start unpacking right away because I had a bunch of shelves to put stuff on. Anyway, let's move some junk out of the way here and try to not take forever doing it. So that looks like it's pretty gross right now. The only thing I don't like about this is that here, I don't like. But that might come in handy, depending on how I was going to do that. Anyway, I haven't even looked at that thing. I don't even know if it leaks. It shouldn't leak. I think the chrome's just kind of nasty on it, which I wouldn't leave it chrome. I would paint it. It'd be cool if it was, yeah, anyway, I'd paint it. I would strip that all off and paint it. But that is what I've got kicking around. So that's something I'd be able to use for a spare fuel bottle on my Shovelhead right away. Without having to go and buy something because those spare fuel cans are not cheap. Yeah, I was actually looking at them and even the small ones are expensive. Like, if you wanted to get like a Moon's Eye fuel bottle, they're just not cheap. And something that size is definitely not cheap. Don't mind me while I chug my chocolate milk. It's like the only thing that kept me sane during this move. But I guess you could use something like that too, if you really wanted to turn something like that into a fuel bottle. But it's much easier to use something like that old oil tank, which is already kind of set up for something like that. So yeah, guys, anyways, that's kind of the lowdown. I should show you guys. Should I show you guys that? I kind of want to show you guys my Sportster plans because, yeah, I was talking about what's going to be next. So Charlie's bike is definitely top priority. Getting his bike going. I'm trying not to get filthy out here because, like, I'm always filthy. But Charlie's bike is next, is like top priority because, like I said, that's a favor I'm returning. I don't want to make him wait forever. And then my Shovelhead. But as for big projects, other than these little man, I've got so many big projects, guys. Like, how do you choose which one to do first? Well, normally that would be tough, but I know which one I'm going to do first. This is going to be the one that's going to be the hardest to do because I'm going to need my dad's help for it, and my dad's not going to be able to do this kind of work forever. So, this Sportster, one of these Sportsters, probably this one, because I think that engine is in better shape. And I actually have I'm gonna have to get registration. If anybody knows where there's a hardtail, no. If anybody knows where there's, I need registration for a Sportster. Anyway, so I can make do without it, but it would be nice to have it registered as a Harley. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna turn one of these iron heads into like a pretty cool bike that my dad started the frame. It was going to be for my Shovelhead. I don't even know where it is right now. And now we're going to use it for the Sportster. But we are going to be using for the frame that, if you can see that Model A axle there, my finger's like, it's right in front of my finger there. That Model A axle, and there's another one here. There's one there. So we're going to be using a couple, hello, William. We're going to be using a couple Model A axles. There's these radius rods, I think are also from a Model A. I don't even know what a radius rod is, but my dad's called them that like so many times. Those radius rods we're going to be using to make some front forks out of. This is, I know, also off the front end of a T-bucket, like a Model A or Model T or something like that. I want to find something to use that for on the Sportster, because we're using these other old car parts, and I think it'd be kind of cool just to find something to use that for. Not really too sure yet what we could use that for, unless we use that as part of the front end for maybe some of the, yeah, maybe if we could use some of that for part of the front end, just for some of like the supports between the forks and stuff. So anyways, you guys are not going to be able to imagine what we're doing with that, and I can't find, well, I'm sure I could find the section of frame that was made already for it, but I don't know where it is right now. So I was going to use this front end for my Sportster project, but I really don't like these DNA springers. Like, they're just too, like, no offense to anybody that has them. First of all, this is really wide. And secondly, I don't like how square cut they are. They're too square cut for me. Like, all these sharp corners and stuff like that, it's just not my thing. And I don't like the way that it looks. It's, I don't know, maybe you could make that look appropriate depending on how your bike's done, but I don't like that. I really like the way those radius rods, I like that rounded. Yeah, they look too modern. Hippie Trev, you're right. They look too modern, but they just look basic. Like, they just look lazy almost. Like, you know, like you just cut something out of steel and didn't even bother trying to make it like even look nice, you know? Yeah. Kind of like 8-bit type, like an 8-bit bike. Like, if you wanted to make an 8-bit bike and everything was just like all boxy and hello RL. Yeah, anyways, hello Peter Petrov. I'm not going to use that. I think that making a radius rod springer is way better idea. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna pan around my shop a bit while I look at your guys' chats. A pony keg. Ooh, vodka in the chocolate. We used to have something called Naughty Cow, and I would freeze ice cube. I would take my old coffee and freeze it into ice cubes, and then get this Naughty Cow. It was like vodka chocolate milk. So I would take these old, these coffee ice cubes, put it in the blender with some of that Naughty Cow, some vanilla ice cream, and blend that up. Oh my gosh, guys, like, that's the best summer drink. If you think Tim Hortons makes good ice caps, you gotta have one of my ice caps, I tell you. And yeah, how about we look at my mess while I look at your guys's words on the screen. Buy a bagger and leave my shovel the way it is. My shovel is gonna stay the way it is. See, that's my plan here, sickhead, is that whatever I do to set this up for the road is going to be removable. It's going to be so that when I'm not out there traveling around on it, that you'll not even know it was ever on there. Like, that's how I want to set that up. I'm not gonna have that set up to be, hey Mitch, I know I miss you all too. Yeah, I'm not gonna have that set up to look like some road warrior machine all packed full of crap and whatever. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I want anything I do is going to be removable so that you won't even be able to see it. Yeah, so it's a little bit chilly, Trev. Yeah, I'm bundled up. I do have heat in here though. It's taking a while to heat up. Anyways, guys. Sorry, I'm just looking at your guys' comments. I'll never have a shop big enough. You're right, John. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's kind of what's going on in here. It's a little bit chilly. Oh man, now I want chili. My setup plan. Okay, so I'm gonna show you my setup plan for the shop. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is fun. Okay, this is actually kind of fun. And I'm excited to do it, and especially that it's like actually warming up, and I can work with my garage door open and the sun shines in here. Yeah. So my plan for the shop. So I got 2 bay doors here, which is super convenient. So I'm gonna keep all the bikes to this side of the shop. Any of the bikes that roll, I want to be able to roll out this side of the shop. So that's kind of gonna be my bike row, and anytime I'm doing work in here and it's not raining, my bikes can be rolled outside. And then I've got a baseboard heater there, so I can't put any shelving right there. But I do want to have a standing shelf, maybe like probably on the other side of this heater here. And then above the benches, I think I'll leave these benches on the back wall here. So above those benches, I want to have shelving. Because I think it makes most sense to have shelving above the benches so you're not taking up any extra floor space. So I want to have some shelving above the benches in the back here. And then I can also mount some lighting off the bottom of the shelving, and then I don't have to put ceiling holes in the ceilings for the lighting and whatever. So I'm gonna have shelving going up along here, and I'll probably put another standing shelf right here in this corner, because that's the only other place where I could put a standing shelf. The standing shelves will be for stuff I need to get to all the time, fasteners and stuff like that. And then like for some of the heavier bike parts, like engine parts, stuff that I don't really want to put on above head shelves. And then I'll probably put some more shelving above the windows here. And then maybe a little more shelving. It depends on how much shelving I need anyways. And then this side of the shop, so that side of the shop's going to be bikes. I do want to put another bench in here, another workbench somewhere. So maybe I'd put that where the heater is there. I've got a nice stainless steel top. So I want to put like a stainless steel top there, top bench there for doing stuff like engine work and things like that. Because I do have like a steel bench and I've got a wood bench. Wood benches are nice to have for depending on what you're doing. This bench just isn't the nicest for... Happy birthday, Solar Prepper. This bench just isn't the nicest for doing a lot of like really clean engine work. So I've got a stainless bench and I want to have that be like my clean spot for rebuilding carburetors, doing like all that kind of stuff. And then over here, because I've got these windows, I'm going to set this up to be like kind of my fabricating corner, you could say. So I'm going to set up my grinders and stuff. I'll put something on the wall down there just to kind of protect it. Maybe just a piece of plywood or whatever. Something just to protect the wall from getting gross from the grinders. And then with the windows, I can put fans of some sort. I can have some kind of ventilation. So when I'm in here doing grinder work, I can have all the grinder stuff just being sucked right out. And then same with the welder. I can have that. Like, that'll be parked against the wall, obviously. When we're not using it, when we're using it, it's going to get used in different areas of the shop. But for the most part, this will be where all the fabricating and stuff like that will happen. Yeah, my vise will be over here because a lot of cutting and torching and stuff like that all happens on the vise. So I'll have some kind of, I may need to put a bench over here just for doing that kind of stuff. And yeah, just a small bench of some sort. My anvil will be over here. I will put the lathe, will probably make some kind of a, like, it's gonna need a bench of its own. But I'll probably make that some kind of a rolling bench so the lathe can go on a bench. And I do have something I can put that on that I could make a rolling bench for it. But I don't really have, I don't like, I've got kind of a vague idea of what I want to do in here. So far, I do think I will leave the benches here where they are. Unless I decide to move this bench over to this side for doing different like fabricating and like for putting my vise and just different stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to kind of get in here and actually just clean stuff up. Putting up shelves is the very first thing so that I can get stuff off the floor and out of the way. Because like without being able to see all like what I'm actually working with here, it's kind of hard to come up with an idea of what I really want to do. But the wood bench is gonna stay in here because I like having a wood bench. I might have to like reinforce it a little bit. And then other than that, like it's just a matter of deciding where I want certain things. But that is the basic, like that's basically how the setups is gonna be, is I'm going to, for sure, the window side of the shop is for sure gonna be like where all my fabricating and stuff is gonna get done. That'll be like where I keep anything like that, any of that dirty kind of work. That side of the shop over there is gonna be where my bikes and stuff will be parked for the most part, where I'll do more of like the clean kind of work. I'll probably keep my lift, I think, on this side of the shop, the fabricating side of the shop, I think is where my nice will lift will stay, just because that's going to be the most accessible for getting bikes up and on it. Yeah, unless I decide to put that on the other side of the shop just to keep the work away from the fabricating. We'll have to see. It's really hard. Like everything kind of, like I said, just got tossed in here because it was just me and Charlie doing it, and everything took longer than what kind of took as long as I wanted it to, but longer than it took as long as I thought it would. But it took longer than I really wanted it to. Yeah, because we didn't get the help that I thought we were gonna get, and yeah, that's why I said thank God for Charlie. But guys, my phone is gonna die. I said before I came out here, I'm not doing an hour-long live stream, and it's almost been an hour-long live stream. I don't know where the lid is for my chocolate milk now, so I'm obligated to drink it all because I lost the lid. And I kind of have a headache. And look I found the lid all of a sudden as soon as I was excited about drinking all of my chocolate milk. But yeah, guys, before I go, I'm going to, thanks to be Trev. Thanks, Nick. Before I go, I'm going to just pop into these comments again and say hello. Hello, Angel Face. Hello, John Roberts. Hello, Steven. Thank you, Steven, for the support. Yeah, John Roberts, that's actually got me, that bicycle actually, I feel like is like what opened my passion for riding, and little did I know at the time, but yeah, it sparked a flame in me. It's gonna be so awesome, man. I'm so excited, even just about this neighborhood. Like, I'm watching my neighbors ride their quads and their dirt bikes back and forth to visit each other, and I'm like, man, I feel like I'm in the right spot. Hello, Eddie. Oh, Solar Prepper. Happy birthday, Eddie. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be a good spot. Hello, Van. Thank you for coming in here. I saw you a little bit earlier, but I was blabbing my face off, so I didn't get a chance to say hello. Yeah, cool to have a sidecar. Yeah, it would, maybe one day I'll build a bike with a sidecar. You remember when I set up my own garage? Yeah, it was a lot of work, and they really didn't want to move because I really didn't want to set up a garage again, but I'm excited about this place. Yeah, I've got a lot of motorcycles in here. Right now I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Harleys in here. They're not all mine though. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 2 of them are not, well, 3 of them are not mine. So yeah, 6 of them are. Yeah, anyway, guys, hello, Scott, if you're still in here. I see that you were late. Lori Young, hello. Oh, Lori, so I don't know if you're still watching, Lori, but I moved because of family, for the most part, bigger shop, just different. I needed a change of scenery and stuff, and just, I feel like Kamloops just has the kind of people that I'm probably more inclined to make friends with and just be able to like go and have a normal life with. And YouTube just sucks when your live streams don't load. You know, that kind of stuff. Anyways, I accidentally made my last video clickbait without realizing it. And hello, Scott. Thanks for popping in. Carlos, Nick, Chip, I see you. We're getting a Timmy's in Norfolk soon. Ooh, great. Oh man, well, CL, you just have not had my Angel, my Red Rider ice cap. Can a girl have too many bikes? Not this girl. Well, actually, probably. I probably do already. Hey, Extreme Bat Gaming, thanks for resubscribing. Anyway, guys, your chopper has those radius rod. Oh, you have a radius rod front end, Joseph? Oh, your green chopper? Oh, really? Did I not even notice that? I think you told me you made your front end. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at those pictures again. Anyway, guys, I gotta get going. And, yeah. Anyway, everyone, thanks for being here, all of you. Thanks for still watching, even though I said I was going, and I was just, just wanted to read your guys' comments, say hello to everybody who I haven't seen, and I hope you all have a great night wherever you are, a great day if you're just waking up. I know it's morning for a lot of you. My phone's got 10%, so it's quickly dying, and I am slowly realizing that I have no reason to drink all of my chocolate milk anymore. So I'm gonna get going, and yeah, I'm excited to get out here and start cleaning stuff up. I got a little bit of unpacking left to do in the house so that I can not be going crazy in there. My kitchen's mostly set up, so that's nice. Yeah, and it's time for me to go now, I think. And I hope you all have a great night. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm sorry that I have not been around very much. I will try to be around more, but I'm not making any promises because I still have a lot of work to do. I don't know, maybe I'll do a live stream when there's actually a little bit of progress that's happened in the garage. I'm not going to be filming a lot of the setup. I might do like, I don't know, like a high speed kind of time lapse thingy, but those videos didn't really do that great last time, so I'm not sure how much of that I'm gonna actually bother trying to video, because it just kind of makes the process of setting stuff up take a lot longer, and I think you guys want to see stuff that's a little cooler and more interesting than me 1,000,000 times real speed setting up my shop. But anyway, thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks, Warren. Thank you for visiting me. Thank you all for your support, and
I'm still here. I did not quit YouTube. I'm sorry about the clickbait. I did not plan the clickbait. If you want to go back and watch that live, you will see why YouTube sucks. I probably explain it there. And YouTube doesn't really suck. YouTube kind of, well, it doesn't really pay my bills, but it does help me to pay for some of my motorcycle trips, I guess. I don't know. I put a lot of work into it for what it actually pays. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get going inside, and I'll see you all on the flip side. Peace. Thanks for being here, guys, and I'll talk to you all in the next one.